He went from skinny, not a lot of muscle, under 15% body fat, skinny, wasn't skinny fat, to he's stronger than Jeff Cavaliere. But is he in fact natural? The answer is Coach Greg, and today a natty or not on Jesse from the AthleanX channel. That's right, in just 5 short years from the age of 23 to 28, he put on 20 pounds of rock hard muscle. Not only that, he went from skinny, not a lot of muscle, under 15% body fat, skinny, wasn't skinny fat, to deadlifting 495 pounds, and they're real weights. He's stronger than Jeff Cavaliere. But is he in fact natural? The answer is yes. Yes, he is. This is a prime example of what you can do with hard work and smart and intense training. He knows what he's doing. He has Jeff Cavaliere coaching himself. 5 years of training harder than last time, progressive overload, training the hard and smart way, allowed him to put on 20 pounds of muscle without steroids, SARMs, or anything illegal. And in today's video, I'm going to explain to you how he was able to do this and give you the tips so that you, like him, can experience these kinds of gains. And you might be thinking, well, 20 pounds of muscle is not that much. Have you seen his before and after transformation? He is lean in the before photo and in the after photo, and you can see the significant amount of muscle he was able to pack on. 20 pounds of pure muscle on someone with an ectomorphic type frame. He's not a huge jack guy. Looks like a tremendous amount of weight. And does Jesse not have the body that most people would aspire to? I say yes. And so props to Jesse and Jeff Cavaliere for helping him transform his physique. But now let's explain how he was able to do so. Okay, the first thing I noticed is he never got fat during any point during this process. I have never for once seen him go above 15% body fat ever. And so what does that tell me? It tells me that he was main gaining for the entirety of 5 years, yet he put on 20 pounds of muscle. He never bulked, went up to 20% and then cut back down to 10 and did the back and forth yo-yo diet method. He clearly main gained. You can debate me if you want, look through his photos and tell me, has he once put on any significant amount of body fat? No. And so what he does, he looks in the mirror each week, eats normally, and slowly packs on muscle. Over 5 years, 20 pounds of muscle equates to about 4 pounds of muscle per year. That is not a ton. People with better genetics would put on more, but for an ectomorph, that is very good. You don't need to pack on 50 pounds of muscle to look good. Obviously, he can't break the laws of thermodynamics, and to build muscle, those calories have to come from somewhere. He didn't have a lot of excess fat storage, so he couldn't use those calories to help him build muscle. And so what did he do? He would have eaten in a small surplus. And so let's do the math to calculate just how many calories extra does he need above maintenance in order to build this muscle. It takes about 2,500 to 3,000 calories of excess energy in order to build 1 pound of muscle. And so on average, I'm going to use 2,750 calories. And you're thinking, no, it can't actually be 2,750 calories because muscle is mostly water. And you're partially right. Muscle is about 70% water and 30% contractile tissue or lean tissue. And so it only takes about 135 grams of protein to make 1 pound of muscle, of which that's only about 550 calories, give or take. And so a pound of muscle only has about 550 calories in it, but to build that muscle, it takes energy. The stimulus for muscle growth, the protein, water, and energy. Just think, muscle is like building a brick wall. It takes energy to pick up the brick, put it on the wall, and put cement on it. That energy is the person doing all that work. In your body, there's metabolic activities that require energy to do that work. To build that contractile muscle tissue, it takes energy. And so it's about 2,750 calories to build 1 pound of muscle. And so seeing as Jesse didn't take steroids, SARMs, or even testosterone, I'm going to assume that his muscles are 70% water, 30% contractile tissue. If he was on steroids, SARMs, possibly testosterone, it could in fact be greater than 70% water. He could have more sarcoplasmic versus myofibrillar growth. And so when you build muscle, it's not always going to take 2,750 calories, nor is every single pound of muscle going to have exactly 135 grams of protein, because it can depend on how much the muscle has water in it versus not. Obviously, a more hydrated muscle is going to have more water, a dehydrated muscle is going to have less. But for all intensive purposes, we take 2,750 calories per pound times 20. It's 55,000 surplus calories were required to build Jesse's physique. 55,000 extra calories. But this was done over 5 years. And if you divide it out, you do the math, it works out to a daily calorie surplus of 30.1 calories a day. Geez, where did I hear that number 30 from before? Sounds so familiar. Didn't I once say 30 calories a day? Or by once, I mean 20 times? Oh, but Coach Greg pulls numbers out of his ass. And so Jesse would require an extra 30 calories on top of his maintenance calories per day in order to allow him to build those 20 pounds in 5 years. But what would have happened if he had said, no, I don't want to do that. I want a 100 calorie daily surplus. 100! Well, 30 of those calories would have been used to build muscle and the extra 70 stored as body fat. That's not much. It's only 70 extra calories a day. That couldn't possibly make you fat. Well, in 5 years, it equates to a surplus of over 127,000 calories. That is equivalent to 35 pounds of body fat. So a daily calorie surplus of 100 calories would lead to, in 5 years, 20 pounds of extra muscle and 35 pounds of extra fat. If Jesse put on 35 pounds of fat, he would be overweight. He wouldn't be lean. He wouldn't have that aesthetic physique. He wouldn't be grossly overweight. Oh my goodness. But he certainly wouldn't be lean. But you're thinking, no, if he was in a 100 calorie surplus, he would just burn off all those extra calories. A surplus is defined as the calories above which is required to keep you at maintenance. If you are at a 100 calorie surplus, you're eating 100 calories more than your body needs to maintain that weight. If you're eating 2,500 calories a day and you join the gym and start doing a ton of cardio and eat 2,600 calories a day, are you in a 100 calorie a day surplus? No, you would quite literally be dieting. You would be in a deficit. You would not be eating in a surplus. If you're eating 2,500 calories a day and you burn off 1,000 extra calories because you're going for a 90-minute run every day, you need to eat 3,600 calories to be in a 100 calorie surplus. So what Jesse did is not write out and say, I eat 2,400 calories a day. I need to eat 2,430 calories a day. That is useless. No one can track accurately a 30 calorie surplus. Can't do it. You could try, but labels are wrong. It's hard to weigh everything accurately. And no matter what you do, there's going to be differences. And how do you even know if you're in a 30 calorie a day surplus, 100, 500, and so on? You do not. You can't type in an equation and say, oh, you need 2,700 to eat at maintenance, therefore eat 2,730, or 3,000, or 3,200. You can't do it. Some days you burn more calories than others, even if you do the exact same thing every day. You wake up, you have a 9 to 5 job, you train for 1 hour and you do the same exact thing every day. Some days you burn more calories than others. You might fidget more one day than the other. You go and do a 1 hour bike ride, burn 600 calories, but then you're more tired the rest of the day and you burn 300 fewer calories. So just because you go out and do cardio and burn off an additional 600 calories, you don't know that your body didn't compensate 300 calories on NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. You don't know. So it is impossible, that's right, impossible to calculate if you're in a surplus or in a deficit every single day by 30, 100, 500, or whatever. And in the real world, what naturals do, like Jesse, is they look in the mirror and say, do I look pretty good? The answer is yes, they keep doing as they're doing. Some days he might eat 3,000 calories. Other days he might eat 2,400 calories. Another day, 2,800, 2,600. You listen to your body and you eat. You don't starve yourself. You don't try to maintain single-digit body fat. You maintain a healthy weight. For Jesse, who is more ectomorphic and had started out really lean, clearly his genetics allow him to be lean. He can maintain at a fairly lean body fat percentage, well below 15%. Other people would look exactly as Jesse does, and that's too lean for them, and they need to gain more body fat and then maintain. So what you need to do is find that healthy body fat percentage where you feel good. You feel great, in fact. You look good in the mirror, you're happy, may not be your dream physique, might not be single digit body fat, probably not. Something halfway there. How often have I said that? You get halfway to that dream physique, halfway to the full-on shredded six-pack, maybe you have some ab, but you're not peeled. Somewhere reasonable, where you have energy to train in the gym, train hard, feel good, get great pumps, have good sleep, normal sex drive, everything hunky-dory. And you maintain. You look in the mirror each week and you say, am I getting sloppy? Am I getting too lean? Is my energy going down? Am I noticing that, oh, it's been Christmas, it's been 3 weeks, I put on about 5 pounds of fat here. I've been eating too much. And then you adjust that and you make sure you don't stray too far off your maintaining physique. And so in doing that, you will naturally eat at a range that allows you to build muscle. That is what maintaining is, and that is what Jesse had done. What else could Jesse have done? Well, he could have bulked and cut. I agree. You're all thinking, I hate on bulking. I hate bulking for people who have already bulked. If you're already at 20% body fat, and you think that going from 20 to 30 is going to help, it's not. Your body doesn't function better when it gets to 20, 25, 30% body fat. You're more tired, more likely to have high blood pressure, poor cholesterol, poor blood work, and in fact have earlier chance of dying. It's not worth bulking up to 25 and 30% thinking you're going to build more muscle. But if you're 10% and you don't feel great, bulking could be a smart idea, but it doesn't mean to bulk and cut. Bulk until the point till your body fat gets to a point that you can maintain and be comfortable with. If 11 or 12% is too lean for you, and it is for many people, you should not try to maintain such a lean physique. You should in fact go up 15%. And when you get to 15, then you maintain. And unfortunately, not all people can maintain at a very low body fat percentage. We all have different genetics. Some people have more fat cells, more ghrelin, and are uncomfortably hungry even at 15%. Some people, they have to maintain at 20%. And for some unfortunate few, it's even higher, it might be 25%. If you're 60% body fat right now, getting to 15% may not be simple for you. You could get there, but you might suffer, be hungry, not have as much energy, and so on. You might not be able to build muscle optimally as lean as you want to be at 15%. For most people, 10 to 20%, more often 15, is where you can build muscle optimally. And eating extra calories, even if it's only 100 or 200 more, is more than you need. Unless you're too lean, you shouldn't be eating 2, 3, 4, 500 calorie surplus. Is putting your health at risk worth it? When you can in fact maintain. You will not build more muscle in 5 years from now if you go from 20 to 30% cutting back and forth than if you stay at 20% the entire time and slowly build muscle from there. And what are the pros of being at 20% between going from 20 to 30 back and forth? Well, at 20%, you always look not bad. You have some abs, feel healthier, better blood work. But if you bulk and cut going up to 30%, it's not healthy, not good. Be more tired, harder to recover, not feeling as good in the gym. And it is even worse if you're on PDs. People always say all the time, oh, but naturals need the higher percent body fat. If you're on PDs, it's even more important to not overbulk. Anything past 15%, if you're on PDs, is bad. We have to worry about things like having high blood pressure, high cholesterol, being pre-diabetic. Eating all these extra calories, gaining body fat, it puts your body at risk. It is not worth it. And so can you bulk and cut? Of course you can, but it's not going to result in more muscle in the end for most people. Here's the problem. There's maybe 5% of the people in this world that would benefit from bulking. Those people are those who are very lean. All bodybuilders, every single one, needs to bulk and cut. The reason for that is because when you're a competitive bodybuilder, you're cutting to such a low body fat percentage that is not sustainable. You can't build muscle properly when you're at 5, 6, 7% body fat. So when a bodybuilder like Chris Bumstead or anyone competing in classic physique, men's physique, bodybuilding, all of these competitions, they must bulk up in the off season because they cannot maintain such an lean level. It's too much. But they don't bulk up to the point of what most people think bulking up is. If you look at Chris Bumstead, for example, in their off season, their bulked weight is still what I would consider lean. Most people who go on bulks have a higher percent body fat than any bodybuilder has. Bodybuilders bulk and they get to what? 12, 15%? But in comparison, people are starting their bulks at 20, 25%. And they're saying, well, I'm skinny fat. I'm 6 feet tall, 150 pounds. I need to bulk up because I don't have a lot of body weight. I'm thin. I'm skinny fat. You already have the fat that you need to build muscle. You need energy to build that muscle. Water, energy, protein, stimulus for muscle growth. The energy can come from your body fat. So if you are already overweight, and by overweight I mean your body fat is too high, you should slowly lower your body fat percentage to a point that's healthy for you. It's not always going to be 15%, not always 20, whatever that healthy weight is for you. If you're overweight, don't bulk up. If you're skinny fat, don't bulk up. Keep your weight at something that is healthy and slowly build muscle from there. If you're underweight, and by that I mean too lean, add more calories until you're at a healthy body fat percentage and main gain from there. Overweight, go on a slow cut, get to a healthy weight, main gain from there. So main gaining is always the answer in the end. The problem is if you're too fat, you need to cut and then main gain, or if you're too lean, you need to bulk and then main gain. This bulking period for bodybuilders, it may take 3 to 6 months at most. On a diet, 3 to 6 months or more, depending on how fat you actually are. But in the end, the long-term solution is to main gain. It's not to bulk and cut every single year. That applies for bodybuilders or people who want to present a physique that is too lean for their own good. If you're 15% body fat in the winter and you want to have a shredded six-pack in the summer, you're going to have to cut from 15% to 9, for example. But staying at 9, it wouldn't be realistic for most people. It's too lean. Testosterone levels would likely go down. So then you're going to bulk back up to 15% and then cut down to 9. Then you're bulking and cutting every single year. But you're not building more muscle than what I would recommend, which is to maintain something you can maintain year round. Rather than going 15 to 9 all the time, I say halfway there. Try to maintain 12% the entire time and main gain for there. You're far less likely to develop an eating disorder or problem with eating, binge eating, and so on if you maintain a healthy weight that your body feels comfortable at than if you're consistently going from bulking and cutting. In the bulking phase, you're eating extra calories, you're feeling great because you get to eat more of the foods that you want. But in the cutting phase, you're depriving your body of nutrients, you're not feeling as good, you're lacking energy. And you're thinking, well, I'll build a bunch of extra muscle on my bulk, and then I'll just cut. Well, when you're on this cut, aren't you going to lose some of this muscle? Because if you weren't, why did you bulk in the first place? And so this debate will never end. People are going to say you need to bulk and cut. They're going to say Coach Greg is against bulking. He's wrong. He doesn't agree with it. But I do agree with it. When you're too lean, you should be bulking up. Bulking up to the point that you can then main gain. So in the end, the best move is always to main gain. However, in this society, because people want to be too lean, leaner than they should be, people are going to be forced to bulk and cut. Because you can't main gain at 5% body fat. Most naturals can't even main gain below 10%. And oftentimes people will say, well, I'm 12% and I can't gain any muscle. That's because 12% is too lean to you. I never said that everyone can main gain at 10 or 15% body fat. It depends on your genetics. Some people absolutely feel like garbage at 15%, and although that is the healthy ideal weight for most people, it isn't for you. It depends on your parents and therefore your genetics. And just because 15% is optimal for your health doesn't mean it's optimal for building muscle. Ending it here. GregDoucette.com for coaching. Greg Doucette IB Pro. Please watch the Bloops Harder Than Last Time supplements. You can get those including terkesterone, training books, cookbooks, and the brand new Circle Diet book. If you want a life's work put into a book of over 160 pages explaining exactly how to lose weight and keep it off on the Forever Diet, the Circle Diet, keep you satiated, full, not suffer, that is the book for you. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment for the algorithm, and until next time, I am out.